lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Niner Sickness Podcast channel, where tonight we are doing our Niners and Friends with my co-host. Let me bring him in. No further ado. What's up, Mariah? What's up, Ryan?
Hey.
Rolling up to the party.
Gotta roll up to the party, baby. What's our Terradome?
Rolling up to the party.
Bebop Jones in here. We got John in the house. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Oop, let me move you up here. So how you guys doing, man? The whole craziness, we're going to get into in more depth, but craziness, free agency so far, it seems like we have lost more than we have gained, but the person that we gained doesn't make up for those that we lost. We're going to discuss that further. But before I do that, Mariah, how's your week? How you been? Your weekend?
Oh, it's been a rough week, but I'm getting better. But it's been a rough one.
Sorry to hear that. I know. I hope it gets better. Ryan, how's your week? Your weekend?
Eventful. Holy moly, 49ers. Shout out to Aaron, also another 49ers content creator, kind of also been dealing with their own thing. You know, he's going through surgery right now. So
yep,
he's laid up in bed. I think he's on some good medication. So
yeah, he's recovering now, right?
Sure. He's a straight edge guy. So this is probably, most space cadet he's ever been.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my doctors, whenever, especially the dentist, when I go to the dentist and they're like, oh, let me give you some Norco. And then they look at my file and they're like, oh, no, Mr. Luna, you're fine. You don't need any of our gummy bears. Just continue to take what you're taking. You'll be fine. Yeah. And they never give me nothing. I'm like, no, you got to give it to me anyway because I'm an account. And if I take more than I should, because now I have a tooth that I'm dealing with, and it worked for a minute. They would give me extra ones, but now they're like, no, because even if you take it for your back pain, it's going to help. I'm like, they figure it out.
Yeah,
so,
now they can't. So
yeah,
they're so strict with everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome, Don.
Hey, Don.
Welcome to the show. We got Bryant in the house. What's up, Bryant?
Hey,
saying
Bryant.
Hello. Our boy,
Don and the ladies, the little girls.
Yep, Bebop.
Bebop-a-roni.
Bebop-a-roni. One of my moderators, David McNiner. I was thinking of McChicken every time I see his name. The other day I was hungry and I keep reading it as McChicken. So I went to McDonald's, got me a McChicken so I could satisfy myself. I had to get out of my system. But yeah, so we gained a big name. Let's get right into it, and then we'll talk about those that departed. But the ones that the one that we gained, none of us thought that the Niners would actually make a big splash in free agency. Well, at least I didn't, because it wasn't something they're known to do. They'll get, last year Charvarius Ward was the big splash for us, and he wasn't even the top corner out there. But for us, he was the biggest splash. And I'm glad we got him because he's done great for us. But I did not expect it. And I went to bed late. And I got a friend of mine at 10:30. He calls me and I'm half asleep. And I'm like, what are you calling me at this hour? I go to bed late. He goes, did you see who we signed? And I'm like, click. I was anxious, but I went to sleep at 7:30, calls me at 10:30. And then when I did find it, so when I heard Mariah later on that day, what did I miss? I just woke up. I busted up laughing when I read your comment. because that was me. I woke up late just to find out that the Niners and John Lynch actually pulled the trigger on a big splash name by taking, I say big splash because they took the best D tackle available in free agency in Javon, no, not Javon Kinlaw, but Javon Hargrave from the Philadelphia Eagles. They signed him to a 4-year, $84 million with a $40 million guarantee. But the best part is Murad Parag doing his thing. It only costs $6.6 million against the cap, and that's what people really need to look at as we sign free agents. He was a big splash. So, real quick, Ryan, I want to get your thoughts when you, and I know you've been on doing your shows, and you guys have been doing your shows, but I kind of stayed away from the internet show wise all day yesterday. I just kind of took it in, watch everybody do their thing. So this is my first time talking about it on air. So, Ryan, what was your thoughts of the big signing? Were you pleased? It was something we needed. Let me know how you feel about it, buddy.
Yeah, I thought the Javarius Ward of the defensive line type of signing was going to be David Onyemata. And then I heard that the Falcons got him. And I was like, dang, that was my guy. It was him and Shai Tuttle. Shai Tuttle, I believe, went to Carolina Panthers. But those were my 2 D tackles I was looking at because they were going to be, above average, but they were, they're going to consistently do things. And next thing I know, it's like 49ers get Javon Hargrave. I was in Ted Talks Ball's channel. Shout out to Ted Talks Ball. I was in his chat, and we were all,
yeah, it always says like Ted touching my balls. I'm sorry.
We were having a blast, just all lamented, or just having a blast, talking about how James Garoppolo was leaving the team. And then the news came in that we got Javon Hargrave, and I was like, I told I told Aaron last night before the Niner Sickness podcast. I said, it's been hard to walk around the house doing stuff all day with no pants on because I can't put pants on with this fucking rager. Oh, sorry, Don. You know what I mean? Like because Javon Hargrave, we went all in. We went all in on the defense. Now, this is the other thing. Oh, Yannick Ngakoue is still out there. And if the Niners were able to do some sort of thing to bring Yannick Ngakoue in, I mean, holy smokes. Because, right now where we're at, we got a good start, but who we got on the other end? You know what I mean? We think Drake Jackson is going to do some things, but we don't know for sure if he is. So if we were to go out and get somebody like Yannick Ngakoue, keep our secondary as it is until we hit the draft, let Steve Wilks find some guys, some plug-and-play guys there in the secondary, that defense might be lights freaking out for the whole season. It might just be just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the Niners are done yet, especially since we lost some players that we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. But I think the Niners are putting all their chips in the middle of the table and saying we're all in. I think they're tired of making it to the NFC Championship or sniffing the Super Bowl and not getting over the hump. So they trying to get there. Mariah, what was your thoughts on the signing when you finally woke up and read it as I did? What was your first reaction? Did you thought it was real? Did you thought you were being pranked? Or did you like, hey, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, first I thought I was being pranked. So for real, I clicked on, because, I had it come across the feed. So I had to click on the profile first, make sure it wasn't just a troll account. And yeah, I had to sit there for a second and be like, man, like, is this for real? Like, the 49ers really went out and did their thing. And man, like, the 49ers may have really screwed up with one Javon, but they made up for it with another. And, when I thought about it, if they would have struck and really, Javon Kinlaw would have been something, we would have been about ready to pay him right now, right? So we would have been spending for him for somebody in that position anyways. So I mean, the money, I mean, is fine with me. Um, Obviously, they feel good spending because they wouldn't spend that kind of money if they didn't feel comfortable because they know they have to pay Bosa, right? So they obviously know they have some way of doing that. Um, so I'm good with that situation. Excuse you. Jeez, so rude.
Oh, I thought I muted myself.
No.
You
My
just
bad.
blasted Beto's eardrum.
Yeah. Well, my eardrums are fine. It was just Mariah's talking away, and you're. I'm like, God.
I thought I muted. My bad.
I was not gonna say nothing, but Mariah's like, "Excuse you." I'm like, I can't. I
Just
lost
because
her.
it was
Sorry.
Ryan, that's why I said something.
No, I know. You gotta love him.
No, I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, I was super excited. I had went on Grant's show on Friday, and he had asked us what was one player that we had wanted, the team to get. And I had answered, and that was the player I had said. And not that maybe it wasn't the biggest need, maybe, but that was just the selfish need. That was the selfish person that I wanted. So when I woke up and seen that was the person that we went out and got, I was super excited.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Toradon coming in with the news. I don't know if you guys knew this. This is my first time being aware of it.
Oh,
I
wow.
have been on Twitter for the last hour or so. But Brunch
Nope,
go
that's
to
new.
the Titans, huh? That one's
Interesting.
Oh,
that one's an interesting one.
that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it sure does. When I first seen my first reaction was, see, during the whole season, and a lot of my shows, not that you're gonna go through all my shows, but those that watch me in my own show, I always was living the fantasy of, imagine Bosa having someone like Hargrave in next to him, and I always reference to Javon Hargrave because I love the way he was playing at Philly. I love the way he uses that power, the way it's meant to be used, and the way he demands the middle, the way he pushes the pocket. And I always reference him as, imagine how better Eric Armstead would be if he had this guy instead of Javon Kinlaw. Because a lot of people are like, even to right now, they're like comparing the DeForest Buckner to Javon Hargrave, where they're getting paid the same amount of money they would have paid Buckner. But I think personally, this is my opinion, and people may not like it, but I think Hargrave is a better pass rusher than Buckner is. Anyway, in my opinion. Now, when people talk about their ages, they're only a year apart. Hargrave just turned 30 last month, and Buckner's going to turn 29 in a couple of days. So it's not like they're that very far apart. Listen, I don't dislike the move the Niners made when they let Buckner walk. There were intentions. They got a number one. They were going to bring in another D tackle to replace Buckner and keep it on the price low, right? The part that I don't like what the Niners do is multiple people told them that Kinlaw had knee issues that could rise to be a problem in pro football, and they did not dismiss that, or listen, they dismissed it, I should say, and they still brought him in. But let's be honest, if Kinlaw would have worked out the way they thought he would have, and he would have been a beast, the way we're going to get it from Javon Hargrave, nobody would be discussing the Buckner situation. But because Kinlaw, unfortunately, because of his knees, no fault of his own, he wasn't asked to be drafted where he got drafted. The Niners brought him into this situation. Hasn't planned out. Now, I got to give John and Kyle props for swallowing their pride, owning their mistake, realize we blew it with Buckner. We took a flyer with Javon. It didn't work out. But Javon was always meant to be replaced, to replace Buckner, right? So what do? they brought another Javon, so that to replace Buckner, and this Javon will make us forget about Buckner. So I was excited when I saw this a lot myself. Let me ask Ryan. Ryan, what do you think? Do you think they keep? They're not going to cut Kinlaw because it's not even worth cutting him. Do you think they keep him as a rotational player, or do you think if there's a right suitor that might offer not a high draft pick but a sensible one, do you think the Niners trade him in draft day?
No. So I hear we save more money if we trade him after June 1st. So I'm guessing that's when they do it. And I don't know, it might be one of those things where we send over Javon Kinlaw and 2 7ths and then someone sends us a 7th back.
Oh wow. Not bad, huh?
Yeah, whatever. Get him off the team. $2 million, saved it. I don't want a roster spot for that guy.
Even as a rotational?
Even as a rotational.
Wow, okay.
This is the way I see it. He's just another person who can take up time on the IR and all this other stuff that we could have somebody who's probably got less chances of ending up there at the beginning of the season than he does. We could pay him.
Fair.
Like, we'll save like $2 million. Let's go get somebody worth $2 million to take his spot.
Maybe an edge rusher or something.
No, get a D tackle. D tackle, same position. Just replace him 1 for 1.
Well, I'm hoping Kalia Davis does it. I'm hoping.
I still like depth on the D line. Okay, that's why I'm saying go get another one.
Okay.
Because Kalia Davis should already be coming back, so that means we need another one still. You know what I mean? That's how I think we need an edge anyway. What up, David Villa?
All right. What about you, Mariah? What's your thoughts on Kinlaw? Do you think they should keep him, use him as a rotational, or are you with Ryan? Get his ass out of here. We can't get rid of him quick enough. Or what do you think the Niners will do?
I'm not giving up extra draft picks to get rid of him. No. I'd rather keep him and have him as depth if that's the case.
Well, we need another water boy, but he might mess up his knee getting the water to the players. So,
Abdullah Ablogada.
Yeah, so we don't, I feel bad I do really feel bad for Kinlaw, not for the crap that he pulled on Grant,
Yeah.
but that's his doing. But I understand he comes from a poverty family. He comes from a bad area. I know he wants to make things better for his family. As a kid, you play the ball you love. Your hopes and dreams are to one day get your family out of the poison that you were raised in. And when that reality, how many players really make it to the NFL? So he got there, but now because of his injuries, it's keeping him from getting the big bag. I can see where he's frustrated. And then when you have someone kind of like, and I understand Grant was doing his job by, being what he's doing. And, but you're hearing these things about you, but unfortunately, you can't be for being a big guy, you can't be too sensitive. That's part of the game. Even if it's not your fault, people are going to talk about your situation regardless, especially podcasters. So, it's unfair to him that Niners took him that high, and now he's getting all this. But I do like the fact that the Niners are moving on, and now we can just kind of put this in the rearview mirror, and now we have a bulldozer of in the middle. We can go back to the 2019 feeling. Now we gotta we found our Buckner replacement. Now we got to really see who we can find to replace D Ford production in 2019. Would that be Dre Jackson? Hopefully. Would that be a veteran like Justin Houston that comes in for a year that does it? Or would they bring in someone to help out there? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm looking forward to see what happens there. But I wanted to talk real quick. This is not a topic, but I like what I read. Where did he go? Somebody brought this comment up. Oh, here we go. Alex, people have to remember. I tell people this all the time. As much as you hate, maybe you hate Kinlaw for his non-productivity on the field, you can hate the transaction. And people are like, why not? I go, do you love Brandon Ayuk? Yes or no? And most of them will tell me, we love Brandon Ayuk. Well, unfortunately, without the Kinlaw thing, Brandon Ayuk would not be on this roster. And they think about it for a minute. They're like, oh, shit.
Well,
You know-
that's not necessarily true. Them drafting Javon Kinlaw didn't make them have to go get Brandon Ayuk. Those were just the trades that were in the package that came from getting Brandon or Javon.
But remember,
Kinlaw.
they traded one spot down with what's his name, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's the pick that they used to move up to go back into the first round to get Ayuk.
So you're saying they couldn't have, if they didn't want Javon
Well, if they didn't
Kinlaw,
have that
could've-
17 spot, how are they going to trade down? If
But
if they didn't get the trade for, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, so imagine they get that pick, right? For trading Javon or for trading DeForest Buckner.
Yes.
Right? If Javon Kinlaw is not in the draft, it's
Okay.
not like that same scenario can't happen. That they move down, get an extra pick, and then draft Brandon Ayuk. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
Guess who they would have taken if he wasn't there? They were going to go to Wharf because they didn't want Tampa to get him, so they would have used their pick to get Wharf. And if they would have used that pick, then they wouldn't trade it with Tampa because Tampa took Wharf. You know what I mean? So they would have sat at 17 instead of going to 18 to
Are you
take Wharf.
sure they would have gotten Worfs?
They needed to replace McClinchy at one point, as we all know this season. Now, I mean, there's a lot of things.
I don't know.
But it did happen
the way
this
they
way,
kept
though.
him on the team for so long makes me think that they weren't looking at worse. They were perfectly happy where they were, and they were looking to just get that tackle there. But whatever's clever.
No, well, at the end of the day, you're right. They could have went a different direction, but because they moved down with that pick, Ayuk was taken. So it's all connected. So, we got Brandon Ayuk. We're moving on from Kinlaw, and we have Hargrave. It's all good. Yeah, it's all, everything else we can bury it underneath the rug. So I love that. Real quick, I want to get your guys' thought on the Sam Darnold as a third string. I've been hearing from a lot of idiots on so-called experts saying that he might be the starter week 1 because they remind him he's reminded so much of Trent Lance ability. With Sam, a lot of the attributes that Sam Darnold brings is what Trey Lance has. I want to get your guys, and I'm going to go with Mariah first. I want to get your thoughts on that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is his third team, and he's only signing for a year. How much threat can he be? But let me get your thoughts.
Well, I gave the rated R version yesterday, so I'll give the rated G version today. If Sam Darnold oh my god.
I didn't hear that. I got to go back and listen to the rated R one.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
Matter of fact, what channel was on your channel?
Yeah. So
I tell you what, real quick. I'm sorry, Mariah. If you want to, I'm not even going to ask you to say it here. I'm going to move it to Ryan. I want people to go to your channel and listen to the rated R version because I think that's going to be the best version.
While I'm
anyway.
talking, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, because
While
I want people.
talking, you want them to go somewhere else. Okay.
I'll
okay,
stop
I see
it.
how this is.
Now you're sounding like Kinlaw.
You didn't even give me any shout outs.
Oh wow! Somebody's butthurt.
He was trying to already leave the show because of you, so
Yeah.
No.
Wow. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'll try
You're
to
all
make it
good,
up to you.
dude.
Everybody, forget my show, forget Ryan. Let's go to Ryan's show and just support him. He's such a wonderful guy. He lives in a crazy part of Seattle, wherever you live.
He
Where
lives in
it
a
rains.
pineapple under the sea.
I don't
Yeah.
live in a crazy part. There's just one crackhead next door,
Yeah,
right
he
there.
lives next to a crackhead.
Wait, no,
and I
sorry,
wonder if that
right
crackhead
there.
is in a mirror.
Huh?
Huh?
At times,
Yeah.
but not the same crackhead. Okay, they're different ones.
Different one. Okay. He's all, that crackhead calls the cops on the crackhead and they arrest Ryan. And Ryan's like, what are you arresting me for?
Why are you taking me?
He goes, that's the only crackhead we see. Oh. See, you can't be taking your own stuff, bro. But if I hurt your feelings, I publicly, in front of everyone here, apologizes
good.
for not
just
acknowledging
giving
the
you
big
trash.
boy Ryan, 6'5", over 250 pounds, sitting here telling me, "Why you go to me?" And oh my god!
That's what you were doing in the chat the other day. So I was just mimicking you out
Sorry
here
if
in
I
front
hurt
of
your
everybody
feelings.
else.
I thought you could take it because you're a big boy, but apparently I'll start abusing Mariah because I know she has
Very
bigger
thin
balls than
skin.
you do. Mariah can take it, huh, Mariah?
Yep.
But
I put the bang bang in Niner Gang. So
there you go.
That's
I'll be
right.
more. Let's be more careful with Ryan. Everybody in the comments, please, do not
Kid
be
gloves.
rude to Ryan. We don't want to lose him
Kid
in the
gloves.
middle of the show. So be nice, be sensitive, be nice to Ryan. Me and Mariah, you can tell us what you want, but not Ryan because we got to
this
make
is
sure
Ryan's
we
safe-
put bubble
safe
wrap
place.
around him. Okay, Ryan. Now it's your turn. Now that we got the bubble wrap around you, I should have this. I'm gonna make a special intro just for you. You know,
sit around Ryan and hold hands so he
Yeah.
can talk real fast.
Kumbaya song as we have you talk. So go ahead, Ryan. What did you wanted to say about? I don't even know what I was
I
asking.
don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot what I asked Mariah that I'm giving. Oh,
About the
something about
quarterbacks.
the quarterbacks. Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan. Let me know how you feel about Sam Darnold.
It feels awkward now. No, hey, I love it. I love Sam Darnold. I don't love Sam Darnold, but I love this Sam Darnold play. Okay, the reason being is it's like another Josh Rosen gamble. Okay, if he has to play and he does something good, and look, I'm not expecting him to come out week one or this or that or anything like that. What I'm expecting is him to spend time with some Brian Greasy and maybe unlearn some of those horrible habits he's learned from playing behind such bad offensive lines. And I'm hoping he can unlearn some of those just enough that he can come in if need be at the end of games to close it out. If somebody gets hurt and get us through the game by just making good quality decisions and not having to worry about everything else. And I'm wondering if we might be able to take him and flip him. I know it's a 1-year contract, but we could always, like halfway through see that, hey, this isn't the trash that we thought. And then we'll just, extend him. And then, sometime next year, maybe trade him. I don't know. It might be a good little deal.
Can I go next?
Are you done, Prince?
Mariah has with word. I love her words, man. Are we done? Don't go nowhere, Ryan. Stay right there. Ryan, we love this guy. I was gonna welcome you. I just seen your name. I'm like, oh, what did he say? I didn't even catch him. Is he?
I
Is
told
he
him
being-
until he changes that profile picture, he's blocked.
Oh my God! I didn't even pay. Really, dude?
What's his profile pic?
It's right there.
Oh, God.
Jimmy Jesus.
Oh, I
Jimmy
thought of
Jesus.
making candles like that.
They won't turn on.
No, they'll burn forever.
No, she
I
They'll
didn't.
can't
never go
believe
out.
that I'm gonna have to drive around my city and see that man's
Oh, that's right.
face
You're
on
in Vegas.
billboards.
Oh. Oh my God.
His face,
Do you know they
like a million miles big, smiling around my city.
traded Darren Waller?
Yeah. I don't blame Dan Waller. He's like, I don't want to catch from Jimmy. He can't even throw. And then you have Devontae Adams trying to be nice, but he's like, there goes my freaking many yards.
But Devontae Adams, when he came out and said, "If you haven't talked to me in 3.5 weeks, don't be calling me now."
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like, I know Derek Carr's not a big time, quarterback. He's okay. But how do you move on from Derek Carr, who throws 4,000 yards in his sleep? He can just wake up, yawn, and throw 4,000 yards. Jimmy has never done it in his career. And you're going to go and give and can you imagine how Devontae Adams, if you think Ryan feels bad because we were a little bit insensitive, imagine how Devontae Adams feels being traded from Packers and his best friend gets shipped out the next year and they replace him with Jimmy G. That's an insult right there, bro. Now, if anybody
You would think that
wants,
somebody personally had a vendetta against you.
yeah, it's like, what are you doing, Mark Davis? I mean, you're a moron. Oxymoron. I mean, Al Davis is probably rolling in his freaking grave. I'm like, I can imagine Al Davis saying this in his grave. Mark, you have your mother's genes, not mine. You moron. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you do this? And then you get rid of, you bring this receiver from New England, which is nobody, and then you get rid of your best tight end. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love it from a Niners standpoint because I don't like the Raiders, but I hate the Cowboys. I just like the Raiders. With big difference. I do feel bad for Raider fans because I have one of my good friends is a Raider fan. I don't even associate with Dallas fans.
Yeah.
Period. And I feel bad for what they're going through because it's not like their team has been a team that has been competitive for a lot of years, like our team has, or has a rich history. You know, they only won 3 titles back in the 70s. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow. Go ahead, Fluffy.
Yeah. Waller had just married.
Yeah, this is your present. We're
Waller
gonna ship
he had just married a Las Vegas Aces basketball player. They just married last week, and now he gets shipped off to New York when they just bought a home. They just started a life here in Vegas, and now he gets shipped off to New York.
Mark Davis is like, we're gonna challenge your marriage, long distance.
Yeah.
You see how it does long distance.
Ship you off to the other side of the United States.
Yeah. Here,
So
but we wish you well on your marriage.
Yeah. here's your honeymoon gift.
Freaking Mark, man. Mark, it's not his fault that he has a beautiful wife and your ass can't get
I know.
close to something like that.
And you got a bowl
Al
cut.
Davis is in his grave screaming, his 40 times sucks.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Is Al Davis just win, baby? Mark Davis, let's just lose, baby. You know what I mean?
At all costs.
At all costs. And then what's Jimmy's saying?
Feels great, baby.
Feels great, baby.
So Mark's gonna say, "Let's just lose, baby," and then Jimmy's gonna say, "It feels great to lose, baby." Yeah, they deserve each other,
baby.
And Mark owns the Aces too, so that's even more fucked up.
Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, so you know what? If you're mad that we lost the players that we lost this all season, just look yourself in the mirror and say, at least you're not a Raider fan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should be consoling enough because, my goodness. And on that note, there's a couple players that we lost besides the ones that I just read like earlier, Brunskill. But I have three on here. One of them that I'm going to go from at least my standpoint, from the very least to the best, in my opinion. So the one that we have lost that I'm like, I'm okay, is Samson. He went to the Colts, 3 years, $27 million. I have nothing really against him. His pressures were okay, but it's just I need better production from my opposite of Nick Bosa. Now, maybe having Javon Hargrave probably would have made it easier for Samson. We'll never know now. But he's moving on. I want to get your guys' thought. Whoever wants to jump in first, fine. Of losing him, is he going to be a big loss in your opinion, or can we manage without him? Whoever wants to go. next.
Adios.
That was simple. Love it.
I wanted him
Peace.
gone last year.
Wow.
I don't
What-
think he did. He was supposed to come in and stop the mobile quarterbacks. Never saw him do that, and he never got sacked. So, okay, why were we paying you? What were you here for? You know what I mean? You weren't. He was just a body essentially.
Yeah. He made way too much
If you
money
don't-
for what he did.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
even do what he was brought here to do. So
And now he's going to make even more money for doing
Yeah,
the
it's
same. So
crazy.
good luck over there. Go with your buddy Buckner and
Yep.
help him over there in Indy. Yeah, that's
well,
that's
they
right.
weren't on the team at the same time.
No.
Oh no, that's right. That's right. Well, they're going to be on the same team now.
They are.
But you're right. He came after.
Gina just said O'Menahue expecting to sign with the Chiefs. Well, that's good for him. Like, nice.
He's like, I want a championship, and I'm getting it
Yeah.
with Patrick Mahomes.
That's
Oh, they
sucks. I was
downsized.
hoping we would have been able to keep him, but that's a good place for him. Best of luck for him, and hopefully, if anything, he can get a ring and he can ball out over there. Hopefully, I don't know the details, but hopefully you got a payday.
Let's hope it doesn't turn into a Gary Plummer back in '94, where he came from the Chargers, went to the Niners, and they met each other, and he won the Super Bowl. So, now that he's going to the Chiefs, and we win the Super Bowl this year. But I wish him the best. I like him.
Yeah, I like him.
So now when we're losing all these ends, man, I got a feeling the Niners either they really believe in Drake Jackson, or they're going to try to move up in the draft. They can't possibly use all those draft picks. That low, I don't know if they're going to pack it, trying to move up and get a good defensive end. I don't know how deep this draft is in defensive ends. If they can be any good ones could be there where they pick in the third round. If anybody has knowledge of that, let me know. But Samson is not something that I was like, goodbye. I wish him well, but I wasn't too concerned. You guys answered that. Now I'm going to go for my second least. And I like him, don't get me wrong, but you'll see why I say the second, because the last guy that I'm going to bring up, I think we're really going to miss. But linebacker Azeez Al-Ashir, he's going on to, is expected to sign with the Titans. What are you guys' thoughts on him? Now, keep in mind, we have arguably the two best starters on our team still. He was more of one they brought in for packages. So, but I still want to get you guys' thought on him moving on. Ryan, or whoever.
Go ahead.
I think we're good. I think it was known he was going to leave. I think it was sad because we really liked him and appreciate him, but we knew we couldn't pay everybody in that squad, and to pay 2 out of 3 was good. And I think the guy we got, Marquari Ball, I think he can handle the business, so I'm not too worried. And I'm happy because Aziz is going to go to Tennessee, and he's going to be the Mike backer there. He's going to be the number one show. He's going to be able to show that he's got it, and this will be the chance for him to get the actual bag later on. So this is like his pre-bag, and if he can show that he's worth that sturdy Mike linebacker money, he'll be getting paid with his next contract.
And well deserved, right? He deserves it, in my opinion. Unfortunately, we're not going to do it because he's the third of the 3 that we have here. So why not go get your bag? I'm never opposed for players to get their bags, period. And if they can't get it here, get it somewhere else. What's your thoughts, Mariah?
Yeah, before I go, can you bring up Crazy Guy's comment?
This one here?
Yep. I just want to say congrats, Crazy Guy. He says as of today, he's a married man. So
Oh, congratulations.
congrats to you and the lucky lady, and I'm sure you're a lucky man. And hopefully, you guys have many lucky, wonderful years together.
Even if you're a Cowboy fan.
Exactly. But I mean, he must be smart because he's in this chat, so it's okay.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, this one, like Ryan said, we knew obviously that he was probably going some elsewhere. I thought that he was going to end up with the Texans, but um, at the end of the day, we knew he was going somewhere, and you know, it's deserving. He should be wearing the dot somewhere. He should be, being the lead linebacker somewhere. He deserves it. He's a hell of a linebacker. Um, but yeah, this one hurt. I mean, even knowing that he was going somewhere, still when the notification came across, it was like just like a little gut punch, right? Like, damn, like a just I don't know, like he was just like somebody that was just he was just like hella good for us when he was out there. When he filled in for Fred, it was like with the defense didn't even skip a beat.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, for you to fill in for somebody that's the heart and soul of our defense, and for that defense to not even skip a beat, like that's saying something, right? Like we thought once Fred went down, like holy shit, like our defense is like what's gonna happen, right? Like Fred's everything to that freaking defense. And he stepped in and it was like, okay, like we're gonna be okay, you know? So, like tip of the hat to him. I wish him nothing but the most success. I hope, that he does all the great things. I hope after this year he's able to get a bigger bag and take care of his family for many, many years to come. Um, and yeah, I hope that their fan base is grateful as the faithful are for him, and that they take care of him.
Yeah. So do I. Go and get your bag, Ben, and show the world who you are were meant to show as a linebacker. He's definitely going to be missed, but I'm happy for him. Hopefully, he's successful there. So the last one that I wrote on here that I would like is cornerback Emmanuel Mosley signing a 1 year $6 million with the Lions. That one hurts. I like him. I can understand why the Niners might have let him go. I think they really believe in forgot his name. What's the young kid?
Deommodore
Deommodore
Lenoir.
Yeah, Lenore. Thank you. I think at the end of the year, Lenore did step up, big time. I mean,
Yeah.
big time, and he could be possibly that starter for us alongside Ward. But I think they still have to bring in another corner now. But I would have loved to have that safety net with Emmanuel Mosley. Now, I think Emmanuel Mosley would have started on the outside. They would have moved into the middle, into the to replace Jimmy Ward's spot in the secondary, and that's not going to happen. So let's see if Womack is up for the challenge. Let's see if Womack is up to the challenge to take that slot corner position, and we're going to go young. But Lenore really impressed me towards the end of the year. I really like what he's showing. And now that we have that push, now the best friend of a corner is definitely the front line. Now that we're going to kill the quarterback and with Javon Hargrave and Bosa. And listen, Armstead's best year was in 2019 when Buckner and Bosa were doing their thing. It just makes the job a little bit easier for Eric Armstead. So I think we'll be fine, but I do miss this. And so I want to get your thoughts, Mariah. I'll ask you first, and then I'll ask Ryan. What are your thoughts about Emmanuel Mosley? What were your feelings personally about him? And I know you're going to wish him well, but do you think we're going to hurt for this loss, or we'll manage?
Yeah, right. I've always been a big Mosley fan. Right after Mosley went down, with the injury, my immediate thoughts were the 49ers got to bring him back, right? Um, but like you said, Diamador Lenore came in and filled in great, and down the stretch, especially into the playoffs, he came up huge for us. He had, those interceptions, and played great. So my thoughts, that recent were, that I think and had thought that Diamador Lenore had played well enough that it made Emmanuel Mosley, and with his injury, it made him most likely not coming, like, most likely he wouldn't be coming back. So, like, I had already had that into my head. So I think that it it had not, like, it didn't hurt as bad. Um, the one that I think hurt worse to me was Aziz and Jimmy Ward.
Mm.
And I had already knew Jimmy Ward was going to, but I think just because he had been a 49ers whole career, and I kind of wanted him to just stay with the 49ers and retire a 49er. And even though, as with the other two, we knew that he was gone, and whatever. It just, was like another gut punch, but just kind of like grouped in with them. Like that kind of was one that hurt me. Um, but I think that, like you said, with the line being better, with Javon filling now there with the old Javon out and the new Javon in, and I think I'm a huge believer in Drake Jackson. I think with him having a true off season, um, I think he's going to come in and be great, especially now with the new Javon. So that'll help, that back end out. So I think that they'll be fine. I think Diamador Lenore is going to be great. With, we had to think he that last off season he wasn't even supposed to be an outside corner.
Yep.
So I think with an off season with him preparing to actually be in that role, I think, and with us having now a defensive coordinator that excels in that, position as well, that's going to play a huge part. So I think we'll be fine. But yeah, I hope, like you said, I do wish him the best. I think, it just sucks because I would have loved Emmanuel Mosley. I think he was just coming into his own. I think he was playing the best that he had been playing in before that injury. And we had finally had a legit corner opposite him, and then went down with that injury, and it just freaking was terrible. It was like the worst. It just gutted me when that happened. So I really hope he can come back from that, and I guess he's on a prove it deal, and hopefully he can prove it. I wish him the best.
Yeah, I hear
What
you.
up, Willie?
Right. You know what? I like that. Three Amigos. I understand.
Hey,
Los
Willie.
Tres Amigos. That's catchy. But anyway, Ryan, go ahead.
know what?
What's your
Hey.
thought? Huh?
What if our intro was like, some mariachi?
Yeah, my
You know what I
mind
mean?
started.
Come in
My
with
mind
the-
started spinning. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know?
Some chente.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I read the Three Amigos, I'm like, ooh, that's something. Yeah, and I thought about mariachi too. Kind
I
of.
like it when the guys like going, yeah. I like it when they do that part.
Don't ever
just
do
saying.
that again.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, I'm not a pro. I like it when other people do it.
No
I don't
shit.
think I'm good at doing it. I just didn't know how to. I don't know the word for that. So,
Don't do it again.
sorry.
That's funny.
I'll be a good boy.
We lost about 15 viewers right now.
Yeah, chat's empty now.
Yeah. But no. Oh my God! See what you started? You
Sounds like
created a
somebody's
monster.
fucking dying dog.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
yeah,
not trying to
worse.
like really do it because I'll blow everybody's. I don't know.
No,
You're gonna
dude.
blow everybody.
Don't do it. I'll mute you, bro. There. Ryan. Oh, Ryan. Ryan. All right. Beto. Crazy Ryan. But So Ryan, your thoughts on losing Emmanuel Mosley, bro? Your personal thoughts of you being a fan of football, the Niners, and I don't know if you're a fan of Mosley or not, but what's your thoughts on this?
So when I saw it was Mosley and it was 6 million, I was like, really? You guys couldn't beat that. And then I just saw that they signed Brendel.
Yep.
And I have a feeling they decided to sign Brendel and let Eman walk, because Brendel's re-signing gives the offensive line a better chance at starting out better next year. So if you want Trey to have a better start next year, the Brendel signing is really important, I think, because it has more cohesiveness on the line. Brendel knows what's in the in the system, starting in the system for the second year, third year in the system. I think he's I think it's a good look. So, and also Brendel doesn't have injuries pretty much, like the big career or season-ending injuries. So it saddens me to see E-Man go. If he was going to leave us, I wish he would have gotten paid a lot more than $6 million. Like, he is worth way more than that. And I hope he does great over in Detroit next year and he gets paid millions next year.
Yeah, and I think he will. I don't know. I mean, good call on the Brendel in the sense of, keeping this line as possible, together as possible, and making it work for Trey. But I think it could be a possibility that maybe Emmanuel Mosley's seen the writing on the wall. Maybe he realized, you know what, this guy, this kid, Lenore, is better than what a lot of people know. I think this kid has a lot of promise, and it might be hard to keep him off the defense for me, and maybe he wanted to be a starter. Who knows? But I think the Niners could have, even with Brendel on here, I think they could have matched $6 million for a year to get to see what he would do.
If they're not making any other move, I think they're going to make another move.
Particularly at that spot.
They've restructured a lot of contracts. They've restructured a lot of contracts to save every penny. Hargrave didn't get paid up front. What's the money for?
Now, when you say a lot of contracts,
other than Bosa,
I'm asking because I've been on Twitter today and much. I know that we restructured Ward, Charvarius Ward. That's the only one that I know of. There's more that has been.
Fred Warner.
Yeah,
that was last year though.
They just did Fred Warner right now, just like
again?
20 minutes ago. Yeah.
Oh crap! Okay, see that I wasn't aware of. Okay.
They opened up $10 million.
Ooh, so you know what? I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring another pass rusher to opposite, because even
that's what I'm saying.
I'm with Mariah. I love Dre Jackson. I think he has the potential to be great. I think last year he started great. I mean, he had 3 sacks. He was batting balls down, but I just think that he got overwhelmed with all the college tryouts and the whole thing. He just got tired physically. And I think now with a whole year, with the whole offseason to prepare strictly for football will help him out a lot. And I think this kid, especially adding someone like Javon Hargrave next to Nick Bosa, is really going to bring the development of Jackson much higher, because they're going to double cover who? Bosa, Javon, Eric Armstead. So guess who's going to get a lot of one-on-ones?
Exactly.
Jackson. And if he can take advantage of those one-on-ones with that bend that he has, my goodness, I think those 4 as starter will be great. But with that said, as they bring him in, I still think they're going to bring a veteran defensive end, because I think the Niners really want to win this, man. They're really going into this to win it. You pointed down. So is there a comment that you read there?
Yannick Ngakoue, pretty pleased by David McNiner.
Okay.
I want a right tackle.
That is a name that is still on the table too.
Where is it?
And
here it is.
and I don't think he's on the table right now because no one has interest in him. I think he's on the table right now because he's talking with people. So, and that's why I think they're saving money, they're remaking money, and I think it's because of Yannick Ngakoue. And I think they're trying to say, hey, Yannick, like, look what we're going to bring over here. You know, this is the end all be all defense of the next year. Like, if you bring not Yannick Ngakoue on this defensive line, this is, if everybody stays healthy, this is the best defense of the year. Nobody can touch it.
Interesting. Damien Lisi agrees with you. Mariah at right tackle. I think, honestly, I know a lot of people are not fans of McKivitz, but I think McKivitz is going to be an upgrade to Mike McGlinchey.
I ain't a fan with just handing him the job.
No, true. I think Jalen Moore is going to compete with him.
Oh,
I know. I'm just hey.
That ain't no competition.
He's on the roster. I'm just saying he's going to compete. I'm not saying that I like it. Him, Sakal might compete with that spot, but I do, and I think they might do that in the draft. But hey, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing a good right tackle, and that might, you know what? Since they brought back Brundle, that might be an indication they might go that way. But if they wanted to bring a big name, don't you think they would have tried? Well, I don't know. Well, that's a lot of money that McGlinchey got, so there's no way they were going to pay that. So
no way.
What you could do now, you can move Burford over to tackle because he's played tackle at times, and then you can move Zakelj from center, backup center, into to guard.
What about Poe?
I don't know what they're going to do with Poe.
I like it, but I don't know where to fit him.
Because it seems like when they're talking center, they keep bringing up Zakelj, and I'm like, well, then what are you going to have Jason Poe do? Because he can't be like a normal regular guard, I wouldn't think. You know what I mean? But as a center, he's really dynamic as a center because he can go pick off linebackers and safeties. He's so quick. You know what I mean? And when you're talking about protection, a center is usually going to one side or the other to help out the guard anyways. Or if he's got somebody head up on him, one of the guards will come in and help him anyway. So usually one way or another, the center gets help. So him being a shorter guy, this and that, doesn't really matter there. You know what I mean? Because he's always going to be having help here and there. Plus he's thick and he's, strong. So I don't really have any issues. I think it's just, it's a great spot for him. But when the center position comes up as far as who might be coming up, it's always Zakelj being named first. So I personally would bring, like, if you're not going to suit him up as your guard or a center, then put him as a fullback and a backup fullback and a backup tight end. You know what I'm saying? Come out in the 22. Palpatine impression with lots of plans. Okay, so come out with the 22. The 22 formation. And then you bring Poe in at fullback. You know what I mean? And then you can even move him up to the line as an extra tight end, or use him as a fullback to block like that, and send him out for a pass when no one's thinking. So much you could do, but we're not utilizing him whatsoever, and that's what pisses me off.
What if Poe is going to be the replacement to Juice?
Could be. Now I was looking at 22 personnel. That's one receiver, two tight ends, a fullback, and a running back.
For the most part.
For the most part. I don't know. Juice. I don't know. I that'll be interesting. But I do know that you can use Poe as a short yardage person. You want to convert that first down. You want to open up that lane. Kind of remember the way they used to use the fridge with Chicago, big fridge, kind of that type. I can see Poe being used like that.
Like as a real freaking fullback. Yeah. Not like how they use Juice now as a.
He's not. Yeah, he's more fullback. Like a lean. Yeah, he's more like a tight end that
Yeah,
than fullback because he
like
does
as
he
a
blocks very
legit
well,
fullback.
but he doesn't really open up lanes as good. At least
Like
not
Poe
Right.
power
could be
lanes.
like a legit freaking fullback.
It'll be interesting to see. Damien Lee says Paul will be the replacement for Juice. That's a
See,
possibility. I
me
don't
and
know when Juice
Damien, we
contract
don't
is
just
up.
have the same last name. We have the same wavelength.
Oh, there you go.
I was talking with Dion earlier, the show I did earlier, and I was saying like when you're using Poe, you should have him suited up, have a formation, and to the point where every time Poe's on the field, his job is pretty much to hit somebody in their ear hole, right?
Yep.
And what that will do is every time the defense figures out Poe's on the field, everybody's going to be, once the ball is snapped, everybody's going to be trying to figure out if it's their ear hole that Poe is coming for. You know what I mean? Like, and to me, that's worth every penny because I want them thinking about everything but what's going on in front of them. I want them thinking about footsteps.
Woo! Yeah, he thinks he likes your idea. Ric Flair says use him as that guy opening up the lanes. They got to use him somewhere. They just can't keep him there, not really utilize him in that. So hopefully we'll have to wait and see. But the Niners at this point have been losing players, and a lot of those players don't come as a surprise to us. But I do believe in John Lynch and Kyle, what they're thinking. I love the fact that they brought in Javon Hargrave. I really love that move. Like I said, I was comparing them all year. What if? And now that what if is going to turn into a reality for us. And then if Drake Jackson can just take advantage of, like I said, advantage of those one-on-ones, he's going to be great. And I love the way he's able to bat balls down. I mean, the dude, we haven't had a guy that can, even our Eric Armstead, as big as he is not really that good as Drake Jackson. So it's going to be fun to see. And then we have the best linebackers, right? I mean, think about it. Drake Jackson, Eric Armstead at his best when you have great players. You have Javon freaking Hargrave, and then you have Nick Bosa, and then you have Fred Warner and Greenlaw behind them. And then you have Ward, you have Gibson and Hufanga, who played very well with each other last year in the back. And then you have Lenore, who late really started to step up, especially in the playoffs. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, in the first two playoffs, he had an interception on each of those games. So he definitely stepped up. So that secondary is not as bad. I mean, yes, we lost Mosley, and that sucks. But this second, for the most part, Mosley was hurt anyway last year. And look how far we got. And the game that we lost, we didn't even lose it because our secondary was getting burned. We lost because we lost our quarterback early in the first series. We never even had a chance to be in that game. But I like what we have in our secondary. And now with that pressure in the front, because it's going to make Nick Bosa's job much easier. And this guy already had 18 and a half sacks when all the pressure was on him. Because let's be honest, if you're a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, you focus on one player only prior to the addition that we added, was Nick Bosa, right? Nick Bosa is the one you're going to try to neutralize. You're like, Eric Armstead, Kinlaw, is he healthy enough? You know, here comes the rotation of players in that spot. Samson, we all okay with him leaving. Why? Because he wasn't consistent. So they didn't lose no sleep. Now you got a guy that can push the pocket in Javon Hargrave, and it's going to elevate Eric Armstead. Now offensive coordinators are going to be shitting in their pants. Like, who do we block? Who do we block? Who do we double team? You can double team both of them. One of those two guys are going to have massive production, Bosa or they may rotate. And one thing I want to see from the Niners defense is that we didn't see is as good as we were. One thing I love about Philly is that they were challenging each other, like they were making bets. Who would have more sacks? Who was going to get to the quarterback in this game? And I would love to see that challenge between Hargrave and Bosa. Can you imagine those guys talking? All right, this game, $100 or whatever. The one that has the most sacks buys dinner or whatever, and then just each game bring that, and that's gonna, that's gonna roll over to Dre Jackson. He's like, I want to get into this. Armstead and this. I mean, maybe I'm just a fan living in fantasy world, but I love the way this offense. And then Chris Cassert, arguably the best D-line coach that CB had. Now we brought in a coach that's going to work on the secondary. He's going to make that secondary even better with Wilkes. I love this. If this defense was number one already, and then we added this monster, how better are we going to be? So we're not even going to demand our quarterbacks to put up a lot of points, because guess what? If we give up more than, 17 points, that's a lot, personally. I think we're going to get 17 or less. And you know what? With Kittle, with Ayuk, with Debo, CMC, there's no way we cannot put up more than 17 points, even whoever's at quarterback start week one. So I like the direction we're at. I'm excited. I want to know you guys, how do you guys really feel about this defense and where it can be in 2023? And I want the best reaction from you.
No, you already said something. Now it's Mariah's turn.
Okay. Sorry, Dad. You know what?
I'm super excited.
Hold on.
Look at this. He's got to take more time away from her.
Go ahead.
Now I can stick my
There you
finger
go.
down.
Woo.
Go ahead and fart, Mariah, because he can smell it.
And I'm going to start with the fact of.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm confused.
Mariah.
I'm getting dizzy.
Send me too.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Like you said, the fact that we already had the number one defense, and now we add in a coach that can focus on the secondary, that we haven't had that. So to add that to an already amazing D-line coach, right? Amazing linebackers. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
And then when you lay it out, all of our defensive players, when you look at it like that, the way I look at it is our defense is getting younger and healthier. We're getting rid of the old guys. We're getting rid of the banged up, broken ass guys, we grow attachments to these guys that have been on the team forever. Well, guess what that means? They're old. We're getting rid of the guys that we keep getting mad. Oh, these guys keep getting hurt. Well, and then we get mad that the team didn't sign them back. Well, they're hurt all the time. We're never going to win the Super Bowl if the guys keep getting hurt. The team keeps bringing back these players that are always hurt, So it's like, eventually we have to say goodbye to these players. We have to let them go, It's like, I keep seeing out there on Twitter. Twitter's like, oh my God. I don't even know why I get on Twitter every day. It's like, it's the worst and the best place for football, stuff. It's crazy. But it's like that the team makes a move, and on one side of it, like, it's the best move, and then you got people that are dragging the team for making the move, right? But it's like the team, I don't know. They have to let these people go. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just frustrating. I feel like they got dragged so much for not bringing Emmanuel Mosley back. But if they would have signed him back and paid him, even if it was $6 million, $8 million, $5 million, they would have been, oh, there you go. Shanahan's signing this guy back that just tore his ACL. And then they would have said, but then they want to complain, that, oh, then you wonder why all his players are always hurt, and he's the number one guy with the most ACL tears and the number one coach that has the most injured players year after year. And it's like, well, make up your mind. Do you want him to bring the players back, or do you want him to not? It's like, you can't have it both ways. So we have to let the guys go, So I'm fine. I think we're in a better place. To me, honestly, we can't say that, oh, the team's better off, or it's not. I think it's incomplete right now. We have to wait till after the draft. We have to let them finish making moves. I'm happy with it's officially, we're not even official to the official day yet. So let them get through, let them make some more moves. But so far, I mean, they went out and made a bigger splash than we even thought they were going to make. So I'm cool with where we're at. Yeah, trust the process, be patient, let it all play out. I think we're in a good spot.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Ryan? What's your thoughts?
Pretty much everything Mariah said. You kind of have to stay on the edge. You have to keep moving, and it seemed like getting a barrel. I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that we might be slowly working ourselves into a Rams situation.
Ooh.
But I'm not a guy who knows anything about the books. You know what I mean, as far as how the money goes. But I'm thinking like you're trying to play. Like, you're going to pay Bosa all this year? I don't know if there's not enough money on the books to do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're gonna
So
they're
therefore,
gonna move him down 5 years down the line on Bosa. They're gonna everything's front loaded, Ryan. The way Parag does it, they front load everything, bonuses on game. They pay you like so much money for each game. They do it
I
that
thought
way.
they backloaded people.
I mean backload. Well, they backload the contract, but they front load the payments. If that makes any sense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But proceed.
Well, whatever's clever. I don't know how he does it, but all I just know is we got Javon Hargrave, and I swear they're out there trying to get Yannick Ngakoue.
They can do it. I wouldn't be shocked.
I know. Especially if you're like, hey, Yannick, we want to put you across from Nick Bosa. Oh, yeah, there's also this guy named Javon Hargrave. I don't know if you heard of him. And then we got Eric Armstead. And then, to plug your gaps, we got Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, staying healthy, this defense is going to be hella scary, man.
Yeah.
oh, my God.
We may be
Quarterback's
the
gonna be
number one
calling out
defense in
sick.
sacks. Yeah. Quarterbacks, like, I'm taking the
easily.
day off.
I think the reason why the Eagles had so much success last year is because who do you block? They had everybody up front. And I think we get another guy on edge like that, and it's going to be the same thing. And Lord help us if we run a blitz.
Yeah.
Fred Warner on the blitz, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah, Fred Warner or
smash that like
Gibson or yeah. And then Wilkes is known for more blitzing than D'Amico was. So that
Yes,
might
he
be
is.
But now if you can create that pressure with just the four, I mean, the ideal thing would be your front four, right? Bringing havoc. That way you can put 7 back, and that's what you want. You don't want, but then again, even if you're successful with the front four, imagine throwing a blitz because they're not going to expect the blitz. Remember that one game against Aaron Rodgers? I forgot, we played them so many times, kicked their ass, that I forgot which one it is, but there was a blitz that we did that Aaron Rodgers was not expecting. He was expecting just the front four, and the blitz came out of nowhere. And he fumbled the ball, and I think Bosa recovered, and we took it over on downs. So I think that we can do a lot of that. This defense is going to be freaking scary. It's going to be fun to watch, and I don't think they're done. Like Mariah says, wait and reserve your judgment of what the Niners are doing and everything settled. Wait for the rest of the free agency. Wait for the draft. And then once we get into training camp, we'll see what happens. One of the things I did hear, I don't know if you guys heard, that things are looking really, really good. I mean, still early, way early to tell, but what's the name came on this podcast, Brock Purdy. He says he's really, really feeling good. And I guess that tape they put on there now, it gives you flexibility to move your elbows, as they didn't do that at 15 years ago, 8 years ago. So hopefully he'll be there. But having Trey there, I really want to see what Trey does. But with Trey at the helm, the offense that we have, and then this defense is going to be destroying everybody. Man, it's going to be the 2019 over again, and I miss that defense because I'm okay with Buckner leaving. I was never okay with having that void because we were not able to replace it until now. Because when you don't bring pressure down the middle, it's hard for Nick Bosa. And I mean, the kid still had 18 and a half sacks. How crazy is that? You're the only guy that they're going to look at. They're going to try to stop you. You're the only threat. And you still had 18 and a half sacks. Imagine when they have to now focus on Javon or Eric because he's better because of the addition. Or let's say Drake Jackson. Or let's say we bring, I can't mention his name, Ryan, the kid from the Colts. That's one of the reasons why I don't want him. I don't want him because how am I going to say?
Ngakoue?
Yeah, how am I going to say that? I mean, I had a problem saying Samson. I always say Eko
Have you come?
Yeah. So good luck to me if we get him. But imagine he comes in and becomes that monster. Nick Bosa's going to feed. Nick Bosa, 18 and a half sacks while he was the main guy. Now he's not the main guy in one game. Oh my goodness. People don't realize how important the addition of this kid from Philly is going to make an impact. I think people really forgot the Buckner in the middle. And this guy's, I don't know about you guys. Maybe I can get your thoughts on this. I think he's better than Buckner in pressure-wise and sacks. And I think he might be shorter, but he's more stacked from the waist down. And no, I don't mean it that way. You know what I meant.
Real quick,
yeah.
how does somebody who knows more than one language have to go to someone like me who like barely knows his own language, plus like, some bad words in another one? Why you come to me? Why you got to come to me for the pronunciations? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Because I just consider you being smart, but I guess I was wrong.
Oh, don't ever do that.
Este way. Pinche gringo. No le hagan caso al gringo. Míralo, cachetón. Se mira que está cagando en la pinche vacinilla.
How do you say, like, handsome idiot? No, guapo. Or
Ryan. No crypto.
Ryan.
But no, Ryan, you're awesome. But man, what's up? I just want to see. I seen Jesse pop in from East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Welcome, Jess.
I mean, Jess.
Hey, Jess.
I said Jesse, didn't I? My apologies. Thank you, Ryan. Jess, that is correct.
What up,
I hate when they
Jess?
butcher my name, and then because my name is Beto, but everybody's Beto. For a minute, my wife got a crack at it because I was saying, "Well, this is your boy Beto." My wife's like, "Did I hear you right?" I go, "You know what? I've been hearing it for so much, it's stuck on me."
I gotta do this for these white people now.
Yeah, because I gotta start talking to my Latin guys, Beto. There's some of them go ahead.
Shout out to Sunil because he's the one that really pointed it out to me. And I was watching you and Sunil on there, and I was like, "Oh, Beto, okay, emphasize it. All right, do him
right
justice."
on, Sunil.
Okay.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you for correcting El Gringo and making him say it right. It's Beto. What's up, guy? How you doing? Beto. There you go. Just a couple more E's. But Beto. I'm like, Beto. But it was funny. I was starting to say it. I keep hearing it so much. I started saying, "Hey, man, I'm your boy Beto." My wife overheard me one time. Be like, "Did I use it?" I'm like, "What do you think? You're a gabacho now?" Or I'm like, "I don't know." It's funny. You hear something for so much, it does get stuck to you. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I'm excited, guys. I love what we're doing here in this channel. It's not just about football. It's about friendship. And that's why Mariah came up with a name, wonderful name. And me and Ryan adapted to it right away, Niners and Friends. I thought it was 49ers, so I had to correct that. But Niners and Friends, because that's what we are. We're a bunch of friends coming together just talking football. And we happen to love the Niners, right?
Right.
So
Drop the ball.
We're gonna start making this channel really, and also the channel. And I put them in the comment in the description below. Everybody's channel. Make sure you subscribe to Ryan's channel. You notice I said Ryan first,
Yep.
crybaby, and then Mariah's channel, because we're going to be alternating this on our channels each week. So you may come out next week looking for on this channel. You're not going to see it. You're like, what? The show's not on today? No, it is. It might be on Ryan's. It's going to be in Mariah. So make sure to follow all of us. Now we're going to do an intro. We're gonna make it more creative. We're going to make it more fun. I really like the chemistry of myself, Ryan, and Mariah in this. I love the how we laugh and how we get along with one another, and we want to make it as entertaining to you guys. Because let's be honest, everybody has their own channel. After a while, you hear the same thing from everybody about the same topic. It's
Yeah.
to the point where it kind of gets like, oh, here we're talking about Jimmy again. So if you can bring in talk about some food, or talk about this, or we're making it a bit of fun of Ryan today, or next week they make fun of me, whatever.
You're making fun of me last week too. Is this like going to be a segment?
But you have that face, Ryan.
Real quick, Arden Key just signed with the Titans.
I actually appreciate that because I didn't want the 49ers to sign him. I'd
A
rather see if we could get Jordan Willis on a deal.
3-year, $24 million.
Wow, good for you.
Oh, Jesus. Good for you.
Yeah, not for that price.
24. God damn. Would they watching the same tape?
He digressed when he went to the Jaguars, man. People don't realize how much Chris Kocurek does
With
for
the
you.
GM at the Titans now, they're taking all the old 49er players. So
That's right. That's right. Their new GM knows these players. The only one that really surprised me was
Carthon.
Carthon. Yeah, the only one that surprised me was E-Man going to the Lions. Now I hate that we lost them, but I do love that. I'm with Ryan. I do love that fit in Detroit. I love Dan Campbell. I love what he's doing over there. I love the attitude that he has. I love
that coaching staff too.
Yeah, I don't play football, and I would love to play for him. It's just that
me too.
It's that, you know what I mean? He got your back. I'm not saying, I love Shanahan. He's a great freaking play caller, but that dude will let you burn before he even puts his foot in. I'm being honest. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Dan Campbell will not only let you burn, he'll step in front of you and try to, you know what I mean? I just got, so I'm glad for him. I wish him the best.
Have you ever seen the clip of the lingerie football coach telling the lingerie football player lady, "Don't ever let anybody treat you like that again"? Like, he was like, if that was me, I would have gone down the field and I would have pile drive that lady. And if it wasn't her, I would find the closest person next to me and I would do that to them. So no one ever would think that I would ever let that happen to me again. Like, it's like one of the best like chats I've ever heard from like a player, because he's not beating the player down and he's totally going saying, "Hey, next time go ahead and get yourself a personal foul on that." You know what I'm saying? And make sure they respect you. And I love that. I love a coach that is willing to get behind a player like that and say, "No, you look, sometimes when they're picking on you, you got to be mean and dirty and let them know that you mean it, and then they'll leave you alone." So, I love it. That's what the Lions head coach is. He's let's just get nasty. We're all going to get punched in the face. Let's not worry about how we're going to look afterwards. Let's just make sure we end up on top.
And last year in the last game they played against the Packers, where they took the Packers out, they had just, prior to that game, the Lions had just found out that they were out of the playoffs, right? Seattle was in, they were out of the playoffs. You can sit there and the woe is me. You can feel like, oh, we're not in. Dan Campbell still had them go into Lambeau and beat the crap out of the Packers and take the Packers out. And the Lions looked like the team that were fighting for a spot, not the Packers in that game. And I love that attitude. I know somebody made a comment about Detroit going to be Detroit, but I think that's changing. I think that attitude over there in Detroit, how Detroit's always that fun team to make fun of, the sorry team. I think that whole thing is changing. I would not be surprised if they win the North Division in 2023 up there, even with Goofy at quarterback. What they're doing there is special, man. I love the attitude. I'm not a Lions fan, but I don't know, man. It's just one reason or another. I want to root for Detroit unless it comes against us, because I like Dan Campbell. When he came out in his press conference, he's like, "We're gonna hit him in the knees, bite him," and whatever he said.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of like, "That's weird," but as I got to watch videos of him, and really, I'm like, "This dude," and he was a tight end, right? You're like, "Wow, tight end," you know. But I love he's old school. One thing I did love about, I forgot how he did it. He's like, about the combine. He goes, "I don't want to see people in shorts running and how fast they are. I want to see the film." And I know I didn't quote that exactly how it was said, but Ryan, I
In
think
underwear or something.
yeah. And that's so true though, right? You want to see how they play. Anybody can run a 40, but how often do you run a straight 40? And even in football, you got a zigzag. You don't just run straight. So I don't know what the 40 is really for in the speeds. You know what I mean? You want to see the football player and what he can do. And I love that of Campbell. So I know I'm speaking highly of Campbell, but somebody asked me, would you trade Campbell for Shannon? And I said, you know what? I don't know. I would have to pause for a minute, but I would pause. I would not say hell yeah or hell no. You know what I mean? And I love Shanahan, but I just love the way the players play. And don't get me wrong, the players do play for Shanahan as well. They do. But it's just something about leading by example that Dan Campbell
Imagine
does.
if Dan Campbell was the head coach and Kyle was the offensive coordinator. That would be a gangster-ass team.
Yeah,
Because,
bro.
I mean,
just
all
got
them
wet,
players... all them players would love Kyle. They'd be just friends with him. And then Dan Campbell would be the head coach and be telling people what needs to happen on the team. And they would understand it because when he walks in the room, everybody's like, yeah, that's the man. That's the biggest man in the room is that guy. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
I think that will work out great because we all know this. We've been with Kyle Shanahan for the last 6 years now. One of his
he's
worst,
getting better, though.
He is getting better, but he is his worst enemy. Very prideful. But this year, you're right, Ryan. This year, he has shown. Now, anybody that's trying to change knows that you're going to slip back to your old ways as you're trying to change. But you got to at least see the change. And I did see that in Kyle. There were some time like, oh, that's not a Kyle thing. That's something that he's done different, and I like that because that he gets in his own way. So I can imagine Dan Campbell being the head coach. If you put Kyle just as an offensive coordinator, he excels. Why? Because he can just concentrate in the way he likes to do his evil genius play calling, and he doesn't have to say so. He has to say so here. I just want to walk him real quick. Reaper Cobra 96. This guy's an awesome dude. He's come on my show. Great guy. I haven't seen you in a minute, brother. Welcome to our channel. So this is what we're about, guys. We're about talking football, talking about the latest news, but having fun. And I'm going to talk to the panel, but I mean, we bring up about anything that comes to mind. And if you guys have any ideas how we can make the show better, please share it to us. We're not going to promise that we're going to listen to everyone, but we'll take things into consideration because we want to make this channel really fun. Because, like I said, Rip, everybody's talking about the same thing, and it's like if you already heard about Jimmy, you don't want to keep hearing about Jimmy. If you already heard about even Javon Hargrave, as fun as he is going to be, you hear all this. We want to make it different. We want to make it fun, and I believe this is what the channel is going to do. So. Maybe we'll do giveaways. I don't want to put nothing on Just Mariah, but maybe we can come together and get something and we can give it to you guys, you know what I mean, to build up this channel. And this channel is not just on my channel. This particular Alive, Niners and Friends, is all three channels combined as one.
I'm sorry.
Is that your way of saying shut up now?
Nope.
Okay.
I thought my stuff was muted and I was just...
You are a moron, bro. I love it. Wow. Here, let me mute your permit.
Probably next week, Ryan's going to be already kicked off the show. So,
or mute it for sure. Freaking Ryan.
Wait,
you just whistle right into that mic.
Whose channel is going to be on next week?
Not yours.
Not yours.
I get... But it was my turn.
Your turn got skipped. It's like Uno.
About that.
Right.
We'll get
man.
back to you on that.
It is. Yeah.
It is on Ryan's channel next week.
Yes, it is on Ryan's channel on No Border Sports. This is why it's so important to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because you may forget which channel is on. We'll make it easy for you. Hit the notification bell. When we go on, you're like, oh, there it is. And you go straight there. So we welcome opinions and thoughts on how we can make the show better. Please let us know. We're going to create Ryan brought up a great idea prior to going live about making an email about this channel, so that if you guys have ideas, you guys can send those ideas to that email, and me and Mariah and Ryan are going to have access to that email, so we can reach your input and so forth like that. And I hope Mariah and Ryan doesn't mind. And if I have to make the gift, I'll do it myself. The person that comes with the greatest suggestion on how to improve this channel will get a prize. So there's a challenge for all the viewers. The person that comes in that gives us the best suggestion, and I'm going to create an email. We'll send that out once we create it. Probably going to be Niners and Friends at google.com, but we're going to make it. You send your ideas, and the best idea that we think is, we'll give a prize out for, award you guys for coming up with that idea. Stuff like that we want to do to make it challenging for you guys. Anything you guys want to say before we close the show, guys?
Well, not many people know that me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers.
I'm sorry, say it again. Did I hear that right?
I'm just quoting.
Your mic's on, you know that, right?
ODB, old dirty bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan.
The KK Clan. What you say?
The Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, I thought you said the KK Clan. I'm like, oh, dude.
Oh, no. We don't talk to those guys. Those guys are a piece of shit.
Okay, good Ryan. Good comeback right there. I'm with Ryan. I'm with Ryan on that
Me
one.
too.
But yeah, so
gotta wear sheets. You ain't down with me.
So normally I would have them promote their channel, but we're all going to be on each other's channel. So you already know, and it's in the description below. Click on it. I believe I did put it on there. Click on their description and go directly to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, and subscribe. And if you're not, what the heck's wrong with you? Just kidding. Just go over there and subscribe. Even Ryan's. I know we got to put up a little bit harder with him, but you know what? He's emotional.
Sub to Mariah's first, so it doesn't feel as bad when you have to sub to mine.
Now, we're going to be on your channel next week, right, Ryan? You're not going to be in counseling?
You never know. My plans are tentative.
If Ryan does go to counseling, we can always move it to Mariah's. But for now, it's going to be on Ryan. Who knows? He might bring his counselor as a guest on the show. Can you imagine Ryan and his counselor on the phone? Hold on. And he talks to us and then talks to the oh my goodness. Anyway, we're going to end this on a good note. Hour and a half, way too long. We really got to work. Today's my fault because I'm running the show, so I'm blaming it on myself. We know we're trying to keep it to an hour, respectful for you guys. But thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to follow our channels. Keep in mind, next week, Niners and Friends will be on No Border Sports channel. And then the following week will be on Mariah's, on 49 Faithful Lee. And then we come back to mine. So stay plugged in. Let people know about our channel. Love you guys. And we'll see you on the next podcast. Peace.
See you, fam.
Peace.